Alright, welcome to the last day of the head gasket job, hopefully. Yeah, so the RTV has cured, it's all hard, so it's done. Before I fill it with oil, I need to put a couple more oil lines on, like this one here. It goes from the top of the head to the bottom of the head. Same with this one that I got on yesterday. I need to plug in all of my harness and put on my intake manifold, replacing the gaskets as I go. So I got new fuel line to go from the fuel rails to the hard lines on the bottom of the intake manifold. I was also realizing, so I've been planning, I need to bleed this. This is my power steering reservoir, and I need to bleed it before I drive it again, otherwise I'll ruin the pump. But it's clear, and Subarus don't have clear power steering fluid. I was kind of confused about it for a sec, and then anyway, I also went and picked up a new ground strap for my ground because it's looking nasty. It's looking nasty. So while I was there, I looked, and like Prestone power steering fluid is kind of clearish, which is about the same thing that's in there right now. And I looked in my manual, and it said use ATF. And then I looked on the cap, and it says use ATF. And so, yeah, at some point, the owner of this car took this to probably a quick lube location, and they convinced him to flush his power steering fluid, and they didn't use ATF because they're a quick lube place and they don't know how to work on cars. So, yeah, I used to work at a quick lube place, and I would never recommend anyone to go to a quick lube place. Unless, no, I wouldn't. Most of the time it's cheaper to do well, it's not. Sometimes it can be cheaper if you have a coupon or something to go get your oil changed. But then you have some inexperienced person changing the oil on your car, and they can screw it up. And obviously, like, this was an upsell. The goal working at a quick lube place is to sell as much as you can, because that's how you can make money. And so they probably came in and said, your power steering fluid is really dark and burn smelling, and so we recommend a flush. It's only $75. Have you flushed it in the last year? No? Well, it's getting time to do a flush. I don't know how often Subaru recommends a power steering flush, but I've never done a power steering flush in my life and never had issues. So yeah, I could go off on quick lubes all day. Anyway, don't take your car to a quick lube, and if you do, don't let them sell you anything you weren't expecting to buy before you got there. And then make sure that they're using the right fluids. Know your car, read through the manual. It tells you what fluids you should have in it, and you should ask them what is going in it if you're letting anyone else, even a real mechanic, touch your car. Anywhere besides the dealership is not going to be as thorough as they should. That's just kind of how it goes. Anyway, enough of that. So now I'm stuck with figuring out how to flush my power steering. Most of it's leaked out since it's been just kind of sitting up there, and so it's not the end of the world, but it's just another annoying thing that I have to do. Anyway, I have ATF, my fuel line, a new ground strap, a couple more gaskets for the intake manifold, and a couple of other lines and things that are just kind of down below the oil line and that kind of thing. And then it's fluid time and go time. So hopefully, I mean, it's probably going to take me most of the day to get all this done, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world, and hopefully by the end of the day I'll have a running, driving Subaru again. Okay, while I was going through the rest of my gaskets, I got the new gaskets on the intake manifold and the new one on the throttle body. There's the old ones. These new ones aren't as great a quality. They seem slightly thinner, but I'm sure they'll work just fine. While I was looking through the rest of my gasket set, I found these guys, a bag of O-rings and funky things like that, and those are for the fuel injectors. So I figured, hey, might as well. I'll pull them off and replace them really quick. So here we go. I already did the other side. But here you can see those O-rings or seals or whatever are kind of cracked up a little bit. And so I figured I'd replace them. For the injectors, you just pull them straight down like that. Then you've got a big O-ring at the top, this kind of O-ring thingy here, and then this black one at the bottom. So that bottom one comes off. And that top O-ring, and then this one can be kind of stuck, so just kind of slightly pry it up. And pull it off. Like that. You can wipe this down and spray it off really quick. That's what I'm gonna do. Then when you go to put your new ones on, I just spray it down with WD-40. You do need to lube the O-rings and the seals. Best thing I'd say is Vaseline. But I don't have any Vaseline, and so you can use motor oil or a few other things, but mostly you just want it lubed. So I'm just using WD-40, and that works alright. And then we just take this and you shove it back up in there, like that. So I'm doing that really quick. I had the new gaskets and I figured might as well put them on while everything's taken apart. It's only going to add about 15 minutes to the job, and so I'm going for it. When you put them back on, remember that you're torquing these bolts into an aluminum head, and so don't torque them too tight, just make them snug. So yeah. The other thing, when I put this oil line on over here, make sure to put that oil line on before you put the rear cover on, because you can't get a wrench up onto it with the rear cover there unless you take off the oil cooler, which I'm not going to do. I was able to get needle nose vice grips up in there and tighten it down. I don't know how tight I got it, but I got it as tight as I could, and I'm hoping I don't have any issues because of it. But for everybody doing it themselves, put the oil lines on right after you put the heads on, like the factory service manual says. So, top tip. Okay, taking a break. I lost a bolt, and I'm not sure where it went. I didn't hear it drop. Well, I didn't hear it hit anything on the way down. So taking a break to take a break. Yeah, so obviously I've got pretty far. I have all of the wiring hooked up. I replaced the ground strap back there on the transmission. I got these brackets that hold the coil wires out of the way. I got them bolted up, and then all of the other kind of miscellaneous wires plugged in and secured. I even secured these ones down here again. The intake manifold's not on, it's just sitting there. The only thing that's connecting it in are the two fuel lines. Just kind of sitting right there. I'm starting to get the water pipes on. I still need to find this bolt. I'm not sure where it went. Not the end of the world if I can't, but that's another one that I'm trying to find. In my mess of random bolts and crap, it's probably just on the ground over here. The other one that I'm trying to find that I had my hand on is back here. It's on the back side of the head, and it bolts this water line to the back of the head. And I was getting it down in there, and I let go of it, and I didn't ever hear it drop or clink against anything. I got my magnet. I'm trying to find it. We'll see if I end up finding it or not. There's still another plug down there that needs plugged in. I can see it. The ground straps on the underside of the heads that connect to the frame rails, I got those bolted on. This water line is bolted in. That has to go on before the manifold. Yeah, mostly right now I'm just getting all the water lines hooked up, and the vacuum and PCV lines and things like that. That's all that's left that's slowing me down. Lots of little things, and it's just kind of annoying little things, but it's going. It's only 12:40. I got here at 11 or 10:30, so I've been here for about 2 hours, so not a ton of time. And it is coming together. The only upset that I've had so far is that dumb bolt that I dropped, and I've been looking for it for 15 or 20 minutes with no luck. But that's why I'm taking a break. Trying not to get too frustrated. I mean, it's not the end of the world even if I don't end up hooking it up, because it doesn't do much. It just kind of holds it up there. But there's another bolt. I mean, just two points of securing it. And so if I don't get it, I can do it later. Like, I can get to it later. So yeah, I might just keep going. Maybe look for another couple of minutes and then just forget about it and keep going. Because there's bigger things that need to go together. The intake needs bolted on, and then I need to put my AC condenser back in, and my radiator and all that stuff. Fill it up with oil, fill it up with coolant, put the airbox back on, get the big airbox back in that fender. Do that kinds of things, hook up all of these hoses here. For reference, I guess, I'll show you. So this pressurized line is the top one that comes out of this this fuel pressure regulator. It comes out of it. The return line is this skinnier one that is non-pressurized. You can tell because it has this pressure fitting, quicker release fitting. That's the pressurized line. This is the return line. This is just a vacuum hose. It comes in and plugs in over there. Those are the fuel lines. Then back here we have this, I guess it plugs into the throttle body. It's a water line that comes down here and plugs in right there. And then we have the heater cores lines. The bottom heater core, well, I guess the top heater core line coming out of the top of the heater core, it goes to the bottom line, the one that comes up from underneath. And then the bottom heater core line goes on the top, the pipe that comes off the top that Y's out. Yeah, so that goes all like that. Where's that one last connector I saw just hanging out? There it is. That needs plugged in. And that plugs in over here. Oh, there's two. Two last connectors. I'm pretty sure this white one goes on over here. Just like that. I do not know what that second one does. That one right there. I don't see any other plugs that are down that way. Down and see. Oh yeah, okay, there's a plug down here. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes down. There we go. There we go. So that one is plugs in way down under there. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but yeah, make sure you get everything plugged in. This is where I lost that bolt. Dang it. I don't know where it could have gone without making a clinking noise. But okay, so I found another bolt that would work, that is working, and it's from a Honda. So I have used a Honda part in desperate need to fix my Subaru. That one right there. That's going in. Generally, this happens the other way around, where you find a Subaru part that fixes a Honda or any other car. Actually, it might not. It might be too long. But even if it is too long, I have a whole nother box of random Honda bolts that I'm sure will fit. Don't tell anybody, but my Subaru is a Honda. Okay, so here we are. It looks like an engine again. All that I have left to do, I filled it full of oil, and I'm pretty sure it's at the level I want it. I'll check it again, but I had forgotten coolant. I bought some, but I forgot it at home, and so I had to go to the store and get some. Let's see. Obviously, I did everything. Let me see if I can go over it. I got the intake bolted up, all of the water lines and PCV hose and everything, hoses run. I got these covers put back on. I got the engine back down in the cradle and bolted the mounts through the cross member. There's a couple little bolts on the exhaust that I had to pull off to be able to actually let it drop down that I torqued. I put on my new tensioner and my new belt. My AC is unplugged because I don't want it engaging because there's no Freon in it right now, and the Freon is what kind of pushes the oil around, so I don't want the AC to turn on without it pressurized. Yeah, everything is plugged in, ready to go, except for my power steering. And so it had power steering fluid in it, and I want to put RTV back in it. And so what I'm doing, this is the feed line from the power steering reservoir. It goes in through the top. And so what I'm going to do is, I need to go grab I have another funnel that I'm going to put on this. But I'm just going to fill the funnel with automatic transmission fluid. And then I have this water bottle that I'm going to use like that to catch the power steering fluid. And it's clear, so I'll be able to tell when ATV starts coming through. ATF. So it's clear so that when the red fluid starts coming back through, I can turn off the car and be done with it. The one tricky thing is you do not want to let the power steering pump run dry. If you do, it's busted. Okay? Like immediately. I have freaking leaves in my... That's uncomfortable. Having leaves on your neck. I have no idea how that happened. Anyway, yeah, do not let the power steering pump run dry, otherwise you're putting a new power steering pump on, which is a no-no when you have a good one. I don't know if there's really any issues running power steering fluid in it, but I want ATF. The guys who engineered this know what they're doing. So anyway, this funnel I get from Walmart. It's like a $2 super quick fill funnel, and it is the best funnel I've found for doing coolant on Subarus, because it fits down right on there, and it makes it so you can burp the system really, really effectively, because you can fill it up higher to be super high, highest spot on the engine. So, leaves. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, I'm gonna go about halvesies on this, and then I have distilled water to go with it. So this takes just under 2 gallons. And so that's what I'm putting in it. Let me shake this up. Burp the top hoses real quick. And this is how it's sitting right now. It's about up to here, and so it's high up, which is good. As you burp it, you'll get bubbles to come out. So I'm just squeezing this Here we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to let this kind of sit because my main focus is going to be the power steering. Okay, so now we're going to push that down on there like that. That smells so good. I don't know why. I have grown to like the smell of automatic transmission fluid. Good. Now I'm burping this one. Do this. There we go. Yeah. Need to keep an eye on this. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw my battery on it and start it. Because I think that's ready to go. Let's get those out of here. How about this one? That one is very easy to fall off. There we go. That's not coming out now. So if I want it down. There we go. Sweet. Now it can fill up, but it can't drop down. Good. Oh, hey, look, I'm even starting to leak RTV. No, it's not RTV. I keep saying RTV because I've been using RTV this whole time. And look, it's starting to leak ATF. So let me do this real quick too. I'm gonna go ahead and start it. Okay, so this drained really fast. Like, in that amount of time, it's already just sitting right here. And luckily I can see that from in the car. So there is a nasty mix of power steering fluid on the bottom and ATF on the top. That worked fairly well, huh? Shove that back in. And we'll go again. Having a really hard time starting. I'm not sure if that's just my battery or still got a little bit of power steering fluid in the bottom, but it's starting to mix. Dang, that looks really good. I need to open up the garage door because it's reeking. I don't want to die. Well, that looks pretty dang good to me, actually, already. gonna say that that is flushed, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it back to how it's supposed to be. These huge wood clamps are like some of the handiest tools I think that you can have in a garage. If you don't have some, I would recommend getting some. Tool review. I suppose I could let that sit and see if it... I'll let that sit for a little bit. It might separate out. But overall, it looks really good. Whoa, whoa, that was a little more full than I realized. Let's go ahead and put this new filter in. So this is like a K&N knockoff. It's called a Upgrade. But it's like a Spectre filter or anything like that. Washable. Apparently high flow. I don't really know about that, but figure if I'm replacing it, I'm fine with replacing it with a little bit more expensive unit. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if the battery can deal with it. Well, that's a relief. I don't think my power steering pump is destroyed like I thought I would, or like I thought I did. So now I'm just waiting for this to explode on me, and once that does, it means that the thermostat is open. Running good, burning off all the stink. Oh, good. This crazy smoke, I think, must have been, well, a few things. So, oil and all kinds of nasty stuff that dripped down into the exhaust when I had the exhaust hanging down and the heads off. Also, I lubed my fuel injectors with WD-40, and so WD-40 was burning off, and all the nasty stuff that was kind of inside the intake manifold. Sorry. That was a ton of white smoke. That was crazy. I thought I had done all of this for nothing. But I think partially it was also running really rich because the MAF wasn't plugged in, and so it didn't know what to do. This looks like it's open, and I don't like that. Okay, anyway. Still waiting for this to explode. It's super hot. It's steaming. It's weird that there's no throttle body to mess with. It's getting close. I mean, it's gotta be. Gotta be getting ready to puke. Let's see what temperature it is. So I have a check engine light on still. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm hoping that it's just was misfiring again. Okay, well, I'm at operating temperatures. There go the fans. There we go. Still in normal operating temperatures. Fans are off. Pretty sure that that is just boiling. See, it's how the level is rising up. There go our fans again. Okay. I'm going to call that burped, and I'm going to turn it off. And let it suck that fluid back in. Shane just got home. Then you want to burp. Shoot, it's hot. Burp these. Again. It's really hot. So I'm just going to keep doing this until nothing else burps out. In both of them. Ouch, it's hot though. Okay. So that's it. I shut it off and let the coolant get sucked back into it. And let it, then I turned it back on and let it idle for a long time, like an hour. I had a check engine light on and it was running rough and it was having a really hard time starting. I pulled the code and it was a cam sensor bank 1. Anyway, I just hadn't plugged it in. It was one that I didn't see, so I came over and plugged it in and it started right up, no issues. So I still need to figure out the battery situation. I'm gonna leave it overnight and see if it'll start on its own without being on the charger. And hopefully it will. If it doesn't, then I'll go buy a new battery tomorrow. But, yeah. Yeah, it's doing good. I need to go take it and drive it and kind of burn the gunk out of it and burn off all of the oil and WD-40 that's on the engine and on the exhaust and stuff like that. But but the majority of it it's done. Really good feeling to have done another successful head gasket job, to have diagnosed it and to have fixed it. I still am like, well, what if it's not? So that's why I want to go take it for a long drive tomorrow and make sure that it's good to go. I'm a little bit worried about that power steering pump. I might have nuked it. It's just filling up that reservoir all the way. It still needed more fluid than just that, and so hopefully I didn't screw it over too bad. If I did, it's easy enough to put a new one on, I guess. We'll see. That's it for today. There will be another one. I also have a new cabin air filter that I forgot that I bought that I need to install. So I'm going to do that. But hopefully we can get this thing on the road. I need to rotate the tires. But yeah, hopefully I can have it on the road and be driving and have a new car. I'm really excited for it. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you next time.